Hey guys, welcome to another 10-minute review. For this one, we have something really special by Kris, an animation with lots of creativity, a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to get stuck in, so let's get to it. Alright, so welcome to another episode of 10-Minute Review. My name is Harvey Newman. I like to share my passion for animation here in this channel. I've been an animation professional for many years now. I've been an animation director as well, and I like to share my passion for animation here in this channel. I think there is a lot to be learned out there. Lots of people actually want to know more, and this is what this channel is all about. Right? So if you guys watch this video through and through and you enjoy and you actually get a lot of information from it, consider subscribing. If you haven't, consider liking, and most importantly, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Kris's animation. Let me know if you're actually stuck on some of the topics that I talk about here, because this is all about starting a discussion. If you have questions, drop them down below and I will answer them. Now, without further ado, let's have a look at this animation by Kris. I will play it and then we can actually review it. But before I do that, I need to actually put 10 minutes on the clock. So let me do that right now. 10 minutes starting now. Poor guy. He doesn't deserve any of it. And he didn't die, which is pretty awesome. Okay, cool. So Kris, first and foremost, positive things. I really like the how dynamic the shot is. I like the creativity behind it. I like that you went all out and very much did an animation that is as big as possible, which is really cool. I'm not familiar with this character. I'm pretty sure it must come from something interesting, this specific character. Drop a comment down below. Please let me know who this character is. I'd love to know more. But the character design looks really cool. I'm assuming it's a free rig. The rig looks really well put together, which is really cool. Now, there's a few things that I think you can do in order to make it better. And some of it is to do with establishing your shots. So in this case, for example, I like the fact that this guy is just on the phone chilling and then something gets thrown at him, which is really cool. But there needs to be a point that you establish this other character, and it might not be straight away. You can just leave this like this, and then something actually kind of gets stuck to his head, right? But maybe somewhere between after he actually gets thrown this and the explosion, maybe have a second where you see this other character coming, because only by establishing these two characters can you actually, as an audience, connect that he is coming for the yellow guy and he's gunning for it, right? It feels a little bit like after the explosion, when you actually grab the guy and throw him, there's so much action, there's so much going on the screen that you never really truly see what this other character is about. You just see blurs of blue, basically throwing the other guy into the wall. So having a moment where you see the other character and you're like, okay, so there's one, there's another one, what's going to happen, is absolutely essential. So this is really cool. When he actually jumps, the explosion, that looks spot on. I think you need to actually leave a little bit more time to read the action, because this yellow guy is so vulnerable. He's not even putting up a fight at all at any point. So there's no point on you basically just rushing it. I know that obviously this is heavily inspired on anime. I love anime. But especially in the beginning, there needs to be beats to the anime. If you look at the best Dragon Ball or the best Naruto, you know that, for example, when the enemy first start attacking, normally is this slow punching or slow attacking movement, right? And then as things ramp up and both characters get a little bit more powerful, that's when things become a bit more fast. And this is really crucial, because the very first initial fight, the very first initial setup allows you to understand how powerful one character is versus the other, and then the other one rises up, and eventually that David and Goliath thing kind of just evens out, and then eventually the underdog takes it all in. So this is basically what you probably want a little bit more of here. So here when he jumps, and jumps and finishes on his shield, maybe give it a little bit more time, right? So that maybe that moment is the moment that you go, huh, and then you continue on the next movement, because that basically sells both characters. And maybe this guy is kind of going, falls down, and maybe goes, huh, I didn't expect you, something along those lines, right? There must be a reason, a strong reason, that this guy is like basically kicking the hell out of this other guy. And it might be just because he's on his phone, right? He's just pissed off with him for being on his phone. But if it is, then you need to make it known, right? So this is a perfect spot for you to actually go and like, I'm pissed off at you because of your phone. And then he throws him against the wall, right? So there's a beat, something happens, a little bit of acting, and then there's the shield throw, right? Now, I really like this shield throw, looks a lot of fun, really cool. Now, I think you're missing a little bit of clarity when it comes to the throw. So here, right, when he actually just turns around and throws, there needs to be something that actually anchors the viewer's eye so we can follow the shield all the way through. And at this point, the way you have it here, right, when he starts turning right here, there's moments that you stop. You don't know where you are as an audience, right? Especially as the shield goes in front of the camera, right? Whenever you do this and something else happens, is a perfect moment for you to cut, so you can actually get that shield to go over the camera, and then maybe have a camera that is slightly further back, so you can see more of the twist before the throw. Or you can basically make sure that he's pivoting in the middle of the camera, right? So his body, his hips perhaps, are in the middle, so the audience can follow through the movement of the throw, right? In the end, you want to make sure that the audience is following that shield so they can keep up with the action. But at the moment, the way you have it, it doesn't feel very much like, especially around here, I'm like, my eyes as an audience, I'm kind of like scanning to see what's important, what's not. And around here, I'm completely lost, and I'll only catch up on the action around here when he actually hits the other guy and stays for a little bit. So at the moment, it feels very much like lots of stuff happening, and then this happens, right? So you need to remove that feeling of like noise and then something happens by allowing that line of action to read really well before he throws the other guy onto this wall with his shield, right? I like this angle, the way you have it here when he throws the other guy is really cool. I think you can actually get the follow through to read a bit better, because at the moment he's just doing this stuff, right? I think you can actually have the follow through to read better on this arm specifically. Maybe leave his left arm a little bit up, a little longer, right? When he throws, leave it up, and then have a little bit of that follow through on the arm in the end. So it's really cool. And then, and I'm reviewing this on YouTube, so I cannot draw over it, unfortunately. I like this angle of like, you know, the guy just coming through with a shield is really nice. I think once again, I think you have a moment here that you should definitely give it a beat. So like when he hits the wall right here, I think you need to stop for a second and allow the other guy to kind of just be maybe either a little out of breath or something is going on, because a lot of things happen. Wait a minute and then continue. I like how this, you know, the bird is coming through and kicking him a lot. Looks a lot of fun. Now, going back to that readability, all the movements are very much similar, right? So he goes kick in the face, like pum pum pum, and then shoot shoot shoot, and then punch. There's basically an evenness to the hitting, right? Like this, and you want to actually jazz up that timing to make it more interesting. Once again, if you look back at anime, you'll see what I mean. Like if Goku is against the wall and I don't know, somebody else is kind of like hitting him, there's this sense of cadence that they normally build in anime where they go pum 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 pum, right? And this is basically what you're looking for, that this sense of cadence that is not even, right? So the hits, the kicks specifically, right? Because he's doing so much with his foot, try to change it up. So he kind of goes down, up, 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 down, something like that, right? So it looks really cool. And then especially here when he goes into the gun, movement. He's already kicked so much the other guy. He's absolutely disabled at this point. So take your time to really kind of like maybe cock the gun and then just go into, right? Because you can change that timing to go from fast, fast, fast because of the punching and the kicking to then go to slow into anticipation and then shooting, right? So that's actually really cool. The punch looks absolutely really powerful, which is awesome. I love that. This looks really cool. I kind of think that this roll here, you can sell it a bit more right there when he rolls back and then throws him up. I feel like you need to have a moment where he rolls and then he has a little bit of that kick, right? At the moment, it feels very much like the roll is what throws him up. I think you have to kind of like roll and then have a little bit of the legs compressing and then kick him up. Just a tiny bit. This looks really cool. I think you've done a really, really good job. Keep on doing it. I think by what I've said so far, probably grasping some of the stuff that you need to change in order to make the shot more entertaining. But I think overall the idea is really cool. I love what you've done here. It looks really funny. Now, for everybody else looking at this, if you actually would like a chance to actually be reviewed like this, like Kris, for 10 minutes, then join my Discord channel, link down below. We have a bunch of people there that are sharing a bunch of stuff, rigs, books, best kind of like things to do in the industry. There's lots of professionals, so lots of gold for you guys to actually take in. So join us, and then what you can do is send your shots to the animation feedback channel. Is one of the many channels that we have there. And then I'll peruse that channel every week or every other week to find the best shots that, tickle my fancy. And then I go on and do these things, right? So do your best work, share your shots on the feedback channel, and then hopefully you get featured like Kris did. And that's all I had for you guys. I hope this was useful. If it was, consider subscribing, considering liking, and drop a comment with any questions that you have about this or any suggestions that you have for future content. Shout out to all my Patreons supporting me every single month. I love you guys, and until next one, stay well, stay safe. Peace.